Hello and welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas, where we play a multitude of different solo role-playing games. And today's solo role-playing game will be our 16th episode of our second series of the Journey to the West for the team in Twilight 2000. I recorded that beginning about 3 or 4 times. I kept getting all words jumbled up in my head. Terrible. So where did we leave our team? Where did we leave staff and these crew? Basically, we left them in a prison. The prison being one of the scenario sites from within the referee's manual in the box set, which was kind of tangentially suggested by Tracy. And so far seems to be working so good. So what we have done, we've taken the events that occur within the scenario site as outlined within the referee's guide, plus some of the countdown activities, and we have chopped them up into little pieces of paper, and I've stuck them in this little bag and we've pulled them out. So far we've only pulled out one encounter, which was we have discovered that there are some marauders who have joined the flock, which is within the prison, to try and find it and try and get a cut into a distillation business, an illicit distillation business that the Borowski brothers are conducting. Now, we discovered this by going down into the basement to try and meet Jacob, who is orchestrating this business. He's an ex-con man, and the Borowski brothers, who were all original prisoners at the prison before it turned to be a religious cult. And we encountered that they were facing off against these 2 thugs, and Staff and Jacob stepped in and helped out the situation, earning themselves a couple of stabs and some drinking alcohol that they can take to the doctor, who Staff wanted to give a present to because she's looking after McCoy. So we had left them in the morning shift where that occurred. Now, the one thing that we didn't do for the morning shift was roll Toby's maintenance of the Bradley and the weapons that had been left behind, because they weren't allowed to take weapons into the compound. So what we might do is, first off, before we do anything else, I will thank the subscribers. Thank you very much if you're a subscriber. If you aren't a subscriber, please do consider hitting the subscription button at the bottom. You can even hit the little bell if you want to. I don't normally say this, but lots of other YouTubers do, so I'll say it. If you'd like to hit the thumb, that would also be quite awesome. I would like to thank the Adventurers Guild. We have a recent new member. You can join the Adventurers Guild if you'd like to support the channel, which is there's a join button down the bottom. You can hit the join button. It might even light up because I'm saying join. And there's various other ways that you can support the channel. For instance, we are going to want very soon to get Hostile Waters, the expansion for Twilight 2000, which extends the map. I still don't know what way the map extends, which I need to find out, but we'll need to get that soon because I'm predicting that very soon we'll be hitting the edge of the map. Anyway, Toby and his, thank you very much for your time. Toby and his maintenance. So the Bradley rather, has its main, so its Bushmaster chain gun. Its reliability is down to 4. It's the M240 reliability is down to 3, and the M4A1, one of them at least, has a reliability down to 4. So I think he will mainly spend his time maintaining the weapon systems of the Bradley. The Bradley itself is all right, but we can say that he's spending the morning, he's got up and then he's going to do what he enjoys doing most of all, which is maintaining the systems within the Bradley. That's tech. You would have thought he'd be a bit better than this. He's a D8 and he has intelligence of a B, which is a D10. I don't think I've done any of their XP in ages. I'll have to make a note, do XP. So Toby is going to do maintenance on the Bushmaster. No hits on the M240. Yep, 1 hit. And on the M4A1s, which there's 6 of them sticking out the sides. No hits. That is Toby's morning. He'll probably do the same thing in the afternoon, during the day as well. Basically, he'll spend some time enjoying himself, fixing up the Bradley, which is one of his favourite things to do. So there are other marauders within the prison. When the 2 that will have disappeared wouldn't come back, there probably word would go round. Now, Staff and Jacob both got injured, so they would have gone to the doctor straight afterwards because they could get healed there. We would also have for the day, Jane would stay resting. Jack is been told to rest because he's under observation because of his kidneys today, and Toby will be doing maintenance again. So we will do Jane resting will just mean that Jane gets to heal a hit point if she has one that needs to be healed, which she does, because if I remember rightly, it's 1 hit point per shift fully spent healing, and criticals are on a day-by-day basis. Then we have Staff. So Staff would be going up to her, to the doctor almost straight away. The doctor will do a medical check for Staff. He will push his way through. We'll do a persuasion test as Staff will be going, all right then, Doc. I thought I'd bring you a present for looking after my little mate McCoy there. He's just a little puppy. Thought I'd bring you a present. And she'll be like, what happened to you two? This prison, I don't know what, it's meant to be a sanctity. This people are meant to be safe here. It's meant to be religious. I don't see that at all. Oh, come on, love. It's all fun and games, isn't it? No one lost an eye, so it's brilliant. It's exercise. That's all it is exercise. Now, don't you worry about it. Me and Jacob here, we've got it completely handled. All I ask of you is look after McCoy and if you could patch up my scratches. So what does she have? She has an intelligence of an A and she has medical aid of an A. So that's 2d12. That's really good. So she'll patch up Staff, 2 hits, and she will patch up Jacob, who's looking really bad, 2 hits. They will they rest? Let's say that this, because they're going to sit around here, they're going to chat to anyone who's awake. So technically speaking, they're both going to rest during this phase as well, which would mean that they will get an additional hit point each off. I don't know if this is the way it works, but this is the way I'm making it work. Then we've got Toby, we'll do last. Jack will, in resting, being recuperating. Staff will take the mickey out of him being asleep. And then we've got Jane, we've already done. So then we've got Toby outside. So we'll have, Staff, so he's just going to rest, he's going to chat to people. He could ask questions or could ask around. All right, Staff is going to actually take advantage of the people who come in. Staff's going to grab Jacob to give him his +1. And he's going to, if you can hear the airplanes, I'm not stopping because they're going over like anyone's business this morning. He's going to start talking to people who are hanging out. All right, then, what happened to you then? You look like you've been in the wars. Did you trip over or something? Looking after potatoes? And he's going to try and basically ask some subtle questions to find out about who these marauders are. Like, who comes in? Is there any like group of lads who've come in who look like new? Has anyone noticed anything? So he natively has a D8, D8, but with Jacob's help, with a +1, gives a D8, D10. 2 hits. Okay, so he will find out that yes, there are some new people that's come in. Let's see how many. So it's a group of marauders. So let's see. We'd say there'd be we'll do like a double high. So I'll roll 2d6s and we'll take the highest number. 5. So there were 5. So we know that there are 3 other marauders in the prison, and we'll get a rough description. So Staff can possibly keep his eye on them or see if he can use this to his advantage, see if they cause any problems, and then he'll know how to identify them straight away, and he can target them and get them out of the picture, possibly earning them a bit of cred so as they can get some additional stuff before they move off. So we will just do Toby doing his repairs, and then Staff and Jacob for the evening are going to say see you later to the rest of them and go back out to the prison and see if they can find out anything interesting. So what did Toby have? Toby has D10, D8. So he tries to get, he didn't do anything to that Bushmaster. No, all right, he's going to push this because he wants that on full working order. No, in fact, he takes a stress from pushing it because he just can't get this bloody barrel out. He can't get the barrel out to change out the barrel for the Bushmaster. Has it got a barrel? Yeah, it must have a barrel. To change that out, so there's some cracks in it, i.e. its reliability is on 4. and he'll spend some time on the M240. He gets that in tip-top working order, which makes him feel a bit better about himself. So he moves on to the M4A1s. No, pushes that and gets a hit. So at the moment, the Bradley is weapons systems wise, the Bushmaster is a reliability of 4. Everything else has been fully looked after. Rounds, the M240 is down on rounds. The Bushmaster is all right, and the M4As, A1s are all right. Fuel wise, I think they've probably got a tank of fuel left, a full tank of fuel, and then that's it. So one of the other things that they're going to want is some fuel to keep going. So maybe that's what so staff now knows who to go and ask for fuel, because he knows where the distilling in is. I don't know whether staff is going to want to go and find Rasputin, who's the governor of the prison. It might not be in their best interest. But anyway, that was during the day shift. So let's have, I know, instead we'll do an encounter. So we'll do, pull a card. If it's a red card, they don't have an encounter and the hospital is quite quiet. If it's a black card, something happens and we'll pull something out of the bag and see if that fits. It's a red card. So everything's fine during the day. Evening, we've got Jane is going to rest. Jack is insisted to rest. They all have to rest until the end of the 18th. Evening for Toby. Is Toby going to do more maintenance? We can say he does more maintenance. We've still got the Bushmaster, so he's going to do one last lot of maintenance on the Bushmaster, and then he's going to see he's done. Jacob and staff are going to go exploring. So they're going to go exploring the prison and see what else is going on, because they've got this undertone that there's something going on. There's these little systems. Definitely there's an illicit alcohol thing, a distillation process going on. So they're going to find out what else is going on. So we'll take Jacob and staff and Toby. We'll put them to the side, and we've got Jane and Jack. We'll have Jane. He's resting, so Jane starts to come around because she's net lost. So all of her hit points have gone, as in she's on full hit points. Her left leg is in a brace. Maybe the doctor will have a look at that leg. Maybe the doctor's going to look at that leg. If we get more than 2 hits, maybe she's going to see what she can do to improve the mobility of her leg. No, only 1 hit. So she has a look at it, oils the brace, and that's about it. Her collarbone is recovering. So Jane's collarbone has a day's worth of recovery to go. And then we've got Jack. Jack's got 2 days. I think they're all going to be okay by the end of tomorrow, by the end of the 19th. Jack's on full hit points. He's getting a bit bored sitting there. He's been reading everything he can get his hands on, and he's getting a bit bored. But they had to be under watch because they're critical injuries, because they've both got bad critical injuries. Jack has a dislocated elbow and he's got his kidney rupture. Jane has her so basically a severed leg. So her left leg is unusable, and she had a snapped collarbone from a stray round. Then we'll do Toby next, because that gets Toby's maintenance done. Toby is trying to maintain the Bushmaster. We definitely want him to go up in tech because he's not helpful. Or we could try and get him some tools. No, okay, you can't get that fixed. Then we have staff and Jacob are going to go exploring the prison. So this was where the day room is, and everyone hangs out in the day room. These are where the have been portioned into areas where people sleep. This is where the basement went down into. This is where the hospital is. We've got some fields here, so maybe because it's coming into the evening, it's a summer evening because it's May. Oh well, autumn, isn't it? April, May, yeah, around autumn time. And so they'll go and have a look at the field. The sky might be quite pretty. It'll be all red, won't it, because of all the smoke from the fires and the small. I know we had a thing about, but I guess there'll be a few warheads would have gone off that would be nuclear, but not as many, so as they'd be everywhere. but things would have got shelled, I assume, probably, because people would have been stupid. Maybe they're just going to have a bit of a wander around and see what's going on and have as a suss what's going on. So we'll definitely have an encounter during this thing, maybe 2, depending on what we pull out. So we'll have, not that one because it came out too soon, this one. All right, is this one of the countdown things? I don't think it is. Okay, so we have an event. This event reads as, a sizable Soviet unit appears near the prison. For now, they are kept at bay by the Polish military. So the Polish military are looking after this prison. Basically, Rasputin, who is the governor of the prison, who's an ex-prisoner, ex-gangster, keeps the Polish military on side by giving them fuel. So the potato fields are growing potatoes to be used to produce fuel, which is the distillery that the Borowski brothers and Jacob look after. And they're being paid off with fuel. Jacob is illicitly drinking alcohol that he's not supposed to be doing because it's only meant to be going towards fuel to basically pay for the Polish protection. So the Polish military is out there basically keeping this. So let's say maybe that T-72 that was wandering around is out there. There's at least, there's 2 BTRs. I'll write this down. There's the T-72, 2 BTRs, and a sizable number of troops. So what would that be? So we've got 5, 10, so what's that? That's about 13 or 14. And then we can say 2, let's say there's like 20 to 30 troops out there. Toby would be getting a little bit nervous with the Bradley. Maybe the Soviets are asking, why is there a Bradley out front? Maybe they are. Maybe. So what they want is they want to come in and they want to get the fuel production facilities that are at the prison, and it's a secure place to actually secure those facilities. They might be saying, why have you got a US vehicle at the front of your prison? Something went down with a vehicle very much like that one just recently. You're meant to be impartial. What's that doing out front if you're impartial? And there's some discussions going on. So we can say that nothing. Let's do a dice pool. We'll do a dice pool of 6 dice. So what happens is it will roll 6 of the bullet dice. If it comes up that, we take it out of the pool. And once the pool is empty, the Soviets have had enough and they're going to hit in. So we have a dice pool of 6, and we'll say each shift we will roll the 6 dice, and then the next shift we'll see how many's still up. And then once there's no dice left, the Soviets have had enough and they're going to hit the prison. So there we go, 2 out already. So the night shift will roll 4 dice for the dice pool for the Soviets. So that's outside the front. We could do another, because there's not, oh mate, we should be moving on. So he'll go back to, so that will happen. Staff will go back and talk to the doctor. We might have to move on. You cannot move them. They need to be under observation for whole of today, and then tomorrow I might release them if everything is going okay. Some of them will be able to release tomorrow, possibly. One of them, so this is Jacob, his arm isn't going to be healed for days now, because he had the largest number. He's still got 8 days worth left. The others have got 2 days. Jane only has 1 day left for a collar, but still that makes tomorrow. And McCoy has also got 2 days. But if she does a roll tomorrow morning for all of these, then they're all okay. So staff is a bit worried. Maybe staff is going to ask around, because apparently there was a rumour. They did have a rumour. I don't know if they'd have heard the rumour about the US officer. I can't remember if I mentioned that. So I'm going to do another one, because that was a bit big. And if this is another big one, we'll put it back in. Oh, all right, we'll have this one. Okay. So this will come into the night time. So we've got 2 former gangs from the prison's old days start up a previous rivalry which threatens the whole prison. The 2 have been united under Rasputin, but a recent fight has drawn a new line. At night, in the yard, 2 sides square off. Can anyone stop an all-out brawl? Is this an event? 2 prison... Yeah, this is just one of the events. All right, so we'll have this one is going to be, so for the night we'll have, so Jane is of course resting, though she's conscious. Staff will attempt to sleep, but this is going to kick off because he'll be sleeping in the bit where these are. Jack, he's got a rest. Toby is just about sleeping, but he's a bit scared. Maybe Toby might have something happen to him because they might come and try and grab the Bradley. Okay, so Staff and Jacob are sleeping. I'm going to make them, they're going to attempt to sleep. They can both make a stamina roll. So Staff is going to make a stamina roll. Hits. Okay, so Staff wakes up because he hears this noise as people start to have an argument. And then we've got Jacob. Jacob gets a hit. Jacob and Staff are sleeping in their barracks, which is in, so I said there was two halves. One had some older people in, which is where Jacob was based. That was more families. This one has got the younger lads in and is a bit more boisterous. It's in the middle of the night. Maybe there was a small card game going off and Staff and Jacob just ignored it and went to bed. And then all of a sudden there's some shouting going on. Staff wakes up. There's a lot of swearing, effing and blinding, as we used to say. Effing and jeffing, that was another one. And there's stuff kicks off. Two people square off and there's a little fight kicks off. This would be a recent fight has drawn a new line. And then that got bigger and it's getting really noisy. And then they've gone outside. And Staff and Jacob have woken up going, What about is going on? What was that all about, mate? They were arguing over cards and then something kicked off. One person drew a knife, someone else said outside, and they've all bundled outside. And so they go outside, and so Staff looks out the window. So they rush over to the window. Staff starts putting his boots on, rush over to the window, and they're looking outside, and they've all squared off. Where's that map gone? It says in the yard. Oh, that would be here, wouldn't it? So they're looking out the window. So I think this was the one I said there was the young lads, and this was the one with the older people. I think it was, or that way around. They've all out here. There's loads of them. Let's go. On one side, we've got 11. On the other side, we've got 17. So there's 11 versus 17. Maybe they're stressed because there's all the Soviet troops out the front, and that's going down. Oh, is Staff going to try and quieten it down, or is Staff going to get involved? I mean, if they get involved, there's just going to be a couple of small skirmishes going down. Maybe Rasputin comes out. Oh, all right. Let's make Staff make an empathy roll. Staff and Jacob both are going to make an empathy roll. They've both got D8s. I'm going to give them a D8 and a D6 because they're with each other. So this is Staff. Staff wants to go out and sort it out, and he's like, "Oh, we can't let this happen. There's kids here. There'll be kids watching that from the other wing." And Jacob is like, "All right, I'll come help. We can't let this go down, mate. Like, there's kids over there." And as they're gonna bundle out of here to head over. Staff might try using his authoritative voice. He hasn't got command. Command would be really useful, and he hasn't got any experience points to spend on command. We really should give him command. He's doing enough of it. He will come. So there's even those people who are natural born leaders, but they don't want to be leaders, so they don't try and take command. They don't try and take a position of authority, but they naturally just step into it. So maybe we'll do a mini dice pool. We'll do a mini dice pool with 3 dice. So Staff will go out and he'll attempt to do stuff, and then once this dice pool empties out, i.e. we've rolled 3 of those and it's got none left in each of the actions, that's when Rasputin comes out. And if Staff has done good, then Rasputin will see Staff in a good light. If Staff has had no impact whatsoever, Rasputin will just see Staff as one of the troublemakers. So, first off, we'll do this. Okay, not yet. So Staff rushes out with Jacob. They're going to have, these would be, we'll give them marauders. Marauders do not have, they have an empathy of a D. So we'll do for one side, no, they want to fight. The other side, they want to fight. So both sides are going to have started getting aggro and moving up, and they've in those first waves where they're picking up rocks and they're chucking at each other and they're shouting at each other, and one or two of them, the brave ones who are like basically the psychos, are stepping forwards whilst the rest haven't really come charging forwards yet. They're still basically they're in that process of getting themselves all riled up. Staff comes out, oi, oi, he screams at them. Let's give him, so we've got Jacob's by his side, they both come out and they're shouting. We've got D8, D8. We'll see if he can persuade them. D8, D8. He's going to need a lot of. We'll need a chain of hits for this. We'll say we'll need 3 successes over this period before they kick off to actually. So 3 chained successes, not 3 hits. Oh no, we'll say 3 hits. 3 hits in total. So, and we'll give them, and they can have a persuasion roll to counter it because they really want to have a go at each other because they've been at rivals for ages. So Staff comes out and Staff starts shouting in English, what the bloody hell do they think they're doing? This isn't what we do in this place. We've all got to work together. There's a whole bunch of, there's an army out there waiting to come in here and tear us apart. With Polish forces are defending us, and what we're doing in here, we're just tearing each other apart. Are you mental? Are you mental? If you want to get torn apart, go out there and have a go at the Soviets. They'll do it to you for no problems. 1 hit, and he's going to push to see if he can get a second hit. No. Okay, so he gets 1 hit. That's all right for the first round. They are going to attempt to resist that 1 hit. They have an empathy of D. If they get a hit, they just ignore him. No, so he's fine. So they're paused for a bit, but some of the bigger lads are like, basically telling him to get effed. Staff will then try and go up to one of the bigger ones and just have a try and overpower him with special forces psycho eyes. This is for whether Rasputin's coming out or not. No, Rasputin is still not come on the scene. We will give them a D6, D6. Staff has D8, D8. If he could, Staff's close combat is atrocious. If he goes toe to toe with one of these geezers, Staff will not show himself in a good light. He's not a close combat bloke. So Staff is just going to square up and he's going to try and out psycho this dude. Gets 1 hit. Pushing. Gets 2 hits as a push. Gets 2 hits. The psycho dude, I'm going to give a D6, extra D6 because this is his territory and he's got like either 10 or 16 people behind him. No. Okay, so those 2 hits means that that's enough for them to start to calm down a bit. So they're starting to calm down and go down because they're thinking, who is this geezer who's standing off against them? Rasputin, are you coming out? No, all right. Maybe Rasputin is just watching to see what happens. So Staff is beginning to diffuse the situation. So let's say a few of them have disappeared off. So now I did a D8, D10s on both sides. So instead we'll say on each side, one side has got 4 people left. And the other side has got 4 people left. So basically we've just got most of the crowd has dissipated, and we've got 4 and 4. Let's do another 3. And Staff is now starting to look a little bit worried because these 4 are hardcore, and now all 8 of them are basically almost banded together and are turning against Staff. Oh, look at that! All 3. Rasputin comes out. That's all 3 at once. So they're back, and just as I said, that works perfectly. Sometimes when you're doing this, the die, you'd almost think the dice are actually playing along to tell the story the way you wanted to tell it. So Staff is thinking, oh bloody hell, I did not pay attention in training to know how to deal with freaking 8 of them. And he's looking across at Jacob, and Jacob's looking more worried than Staff. Jacob's got pure brute strength, but he does not have training. He doesn't know what he's doing with it. And as that's happening, is there a description of him? Oh, it's a very grey-haired, old, lean as they come, wiry bloke comes out with two Polish dressed in uniform soldiers on either side of him. He's carrying in his hand a Bible, and in the other hand he's got a PM pistol, and he comes striding right into the middle of the collective as staff is there trying to calm them down. He clearly can see that staff is trying to calm them down. What has he got? He's got a persuasion of A and an empathy of A, and he's got psyops. Let me look up what psyops gives us. Psyops will give him a +1 to persuasion rolls for changing someone's mind about a particular issue. He's already got an AA, so that gives him an AA +1. Alright, so Rasputin comes out and starts talking to them in Polish. He has a charisma that only... Oh, he's over 6 foot tall. He's 6 foot tall. There we go, I've actually found the description. Charismatic, 6 foot tall, aging, muscular brick of a body, tattooed with the story. So he's covered in tattoos. He's greying hair. He's got a pistol in one hand and a Bible in the other, and he's starting to shout at them in Polish, gesticulating with the pistol. We are going to give him 2d12, which is what his stats is. He's got a +1 as well, so I don't know what we'll do with that. What we'll do, we'll give him a free reroll with this one. 3 hits. There's no way that these 2d6 can beat 3 hits. He's coming out with a powerful voice. He is basically telling these lads, get back inside. I've got enough to deal with the Soviets outside. If you want me to chain you all up and hang you all up, I will do that. And in fact, it might not be these lads' lucky day. If I do pull out a black card, one of these lads is going up on the cross. Possibly, he might do this to just show the Soviets he means business as well. Actually, even though it's oh no, it's a spade. That is a black. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, lads. He's going to basically, if one of them twitches whilst he's shouting at him, and he's going to point him in a very calm, very cool voice, he's going to say in Polish, you. And then the 2 guards are going to step up, grab him and drag him off. He doesn't even fight because he knows it's not in his best interest to do so. And that guy is being dragged out and chained up, and he will be left there for a day. Rasputin is going to turn to staff and he's going to say in Polish something, and then he's going to walk off. And staff is going to look at Jacob and go, oh, I'm not getting chained up as well, am I? And Jacob's going, no, he said, come see me in the morning. Did he? Yeah. I guess that's a good thing, isn't it? Oh, I hope so, yes. And then Rasputin's going to go off, and Staff and Jacob are going to go back to bed. And that will be the end of the 18th of May, and I will do XP and then come back. And we might call that a short session and finish at the bottom of the 18th of May, and then next session will start on the 19th of May, and we'll see what happens to everyone. I've been doing lots of long sessions just recently, and I think I'll do a short one today. Thank you very much for sticking with me. Thank you very much for viewing. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, do consider subscribing. I know technically for you, I've only just said that, but for me, that was about 40 minutes, an hour ago. Thank you very much to our Adventurers Guild for all of the support you give me and for joining the membership. And I think we will leave it at that, and we'll rejoin next week to see what happens to Staff when he goes to speak to Rasputin, the psychotic head of the prison, and if those Soviet troops outside can be kept at bay. See you next time.